Okay, this is the PreGame podcast, man. This is major. Big shout out to the Pacers. Big shout out to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. This is crazy. Center stage right now, and we're talking to the best of the best. Yes, we are first going to make sure that we highlight Miss Joanna from Punkin Pies. Am I saying it correctly?
Sweet treats.
Man.
Yes.
And they glowing over there too.
It is. That corner is shining. I'm gonna go stop by. What y'all got today?
We're all about the bling at Punkin Pies.
Ooh.
Do y'all see the little lapel?
I see. Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, you shining.
Oh, that's nice right there. That's nice right there. I like that.
Thank you.
We start off every single interview with the PreGame podcast pop quiz, which asks you, flurry of question. You do your best to answer.
Okay.
We're gonna get to it.
All right.
All right. So I browse your social media a little bit. I see that you cover your treats with all kind of stuff. What's the craziest thing you covered a batch of strawberries with?
Ooh.
Well, the craziest thing we have that's
This is an
very
adult show, by the way. You okay?
No. You're good. But we have our bling berries.
Okay.
Those are one of the most popular things we have, and it's a strawberry and it's covered in white chocolate or milk if you prefer, and it has edible glitter.
Wow.
Oh.
Yes, we have some down there today.
Okay, I'm gonna try that.
I didn't know that edible glitter exists.
Now
Yes, it does.
Yes.
I need you to end the debate for me.
Okay.
Pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie?
Sweet potato.
There you go.
That's what made Punkin Pies. That's how we got started, by sweet potato pie.
See? That's the side I'm on, but I hear people say otherwise.
Oh, no.
I just don't have no oomph behind it. Just is, it's some pie over here.
That's
Where the sweet potato pie at?
that's what we're known for, our sweet potato pies. But once we got into the AMP food hall, we're in a small container.
Shout out to the AMP.
Yes, we're in a small container, and we don't have space for an oven in there.
Got you.
So soon we'll be blessed.
It's coming.
Yes.
Got
Manifest.
What's the first thing you mastered in the kitchen?
Ooh, I like that.
Like mine was, I mastered eggs.
For my business?
No, for you. For you.
Oh, for me?
In your kitchen. First thing you said, this is what I make.
Oh, yeah, I got this in my sleep.
Probably greens.
Yes. Oh, I like to try. I like to try, Miss
That's a
Joanna.
major.
I'm
That's a major.
Oh, I'm
dish.
sure they're
I call
amazing.
My
brother
children
greens.
love my greens.
Whoa.
Greens are not
Mama,
a
you making
layup.
greens?
That is not a layup for everybody. So is it mustard, collard? What's your go-to?
It's a mix.
Okay.
Collard,
She
mustard,
knows.
and turnip.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's a veteran.
Don't
That's
over
not
here.
over there.
forget
That
that
ain't there
smoked
today.
turkey. No,
Oh,
not
Smoked
today.
turkey? That's the only
Don't
way to go.
forget the smoked
That's the only
turkey.
way
That's
to go.
She
important
loves
too.
those.
That's the only way to go.
Thank you.
Yes.
Wow.
I got you. What is your? I know you're a chef and you're amazing at what you do. What's that your favorite ingredient to use? We like, you know what? This is the one. I know when I put this on there, I know it's gonna be complete. It's gonna be amazing.
Nutmeg.
Okay.
People sleep on nutmeg.
I don't know how
Nutmeg
to
is
use
important.
I'm not a cinnamon girl.
overpower
I'm a
you.
nutmeg girl.
I mean, nutmeg need to bring cinnamon with it, but nutmeg is
That's
important.
it.
Yes.
That's it. Yes.
For sure.
That's the ingredient. The most important Punkin Pies ingredient
Is the nutmeg.
is the nutmeg.
There you go. So I want to know just how did this come about? How did Punkin Pies come about?
Yeah, sure. So my mom, she would always make sweet potato pies for holidays and
Okay.
church functions and different things like that. And people would request it. And she got older and she couldn't, keep up with the demand for
Right.
the sweet potato pies. So I was in the kitchen with her during the holidays, and I picked up on the sweet potato pie recipe.
There you go.
So I started
drafted.
making sweet potato pies, and I couldn't remember all the ingredients, getting it wrong, but it would taste okay. And I would call her up; she would tell me what I missed,
That's how you do it.
and yeah. So finally, I was able to get the sweet potato pie mastered. And after that, people started ordering pies from me.
Wow.
You
And I
cut her
started
out.
Yeah. No.
She said,
Yes.
"I'm the connect
No,
now."
I'm
the
gonna tell
plug
you
now.
something. So I started doing maybe 20 pies for Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
holiday season.
last Christmas and Thanksgiving, we did over 100 pies.
Wow.
And this is what I want to tell you. After each pie order I sell, I gave my mom a piece of the pie.
There you
That's
go.
fire.
I
There you
always
go.
will. I always
Showing
will.
love.
Shout out
No
to
matter
mom.
if I made 20, no matter if I made 100.
Pay your tithes.
That's right.
There you
I
go.
give
Pay them
her-
tithes.
And
That's
at my
beautiful. Appreciate you.
grand opening, I had sweet potato pie, and I gave her the first slice of pie.
And she deserved
Shout out to honor
So
your
that
mom.
was
That's-
fun.
that's
Yeah.
very
That's
cool.
amazing.
Shout out to my mom because she's the originator of Punkin Pies.
Now, I know some people that's sprinkle a little bit of flour in their sweet potato pie. Are you one of
Yes.
those people? Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yes, I do, to hold it together a little more.
I am one of those people too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
know
the
that.
baker
We
here.
got a lot in
Them two
common
shirts.
Yeah,
here.
we cool. I told you it was gonna be fun.
No, we got you, Miss Joanna.
Thank you.
So
What?
question. Oh my bad.
Go ahead, bro.
So, a big phrase around these days is we losing our recipes.
Mm-hmm.
You gave us a story about how you got your mother's recipe. Are you writing that down for your children, grandchildren, or it's got to be passed on by action in the kitchen?
Oral history.
Believe it or not, it has never been written
Okay.
down.
Wow.
Okay.
So
Off the dome.
A pinch of this, a pinch of that. But
Somebody
one
got to
day,
come in there and
one day
study.
I probably will, because I won't be able to,
Yeah.
forever.
Right.
So one day I'll try to get, cups and teaspoons and all
It's hard
that.
to do when you make it from scratch and you just.
It
I know how
is.
much
I
goes.
just know how much
Nah,
go.
measure,
I-
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
Yeah.
You'll mess your recipe up trying to make it perfect.
I
But
know
can make
it. I
perfect
know it.
Without doing all
Without. That's right.
When do you say no? Like, listen, I ain't cooking for y'all today. Figure it out yourself.
For home,
Yeah.
I haven't hardly cooked at home since I started Punkin Pies.
I cook all day.
Yeah.
work
Look
on the
at my
right.
husband.
Take out.
Mark got to cook for himself.
Take out.
It's always takeout, maybe Christmas or Thanksgiving, something like that. But we're at our shop. I'm there from 9 a.m. to close 7
Everybody
o'clock
come
at
home.
There you
night.
go.
After
So
that.
come through.
Sometimes 10 o'clock at night. So I can't.
I've
gotcha.
I didn't
But
realize.
I make sure my family eat.
I didn't make the amp connection. I've actually shot the Punkin Pies before. We got some strawberries.
yeah?
Yep. We met and didn't realize we
Nice.
met. Yeah.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Yes, it's
Where-
been a blessing at the amp. being
Where
at
can
the amp.
everybody find you all on social media?
We're at Facebook. We're Punkin Pies, not pumpkin, but
Punkin.
You heard it.
Punkin
Punkin.
You know how to say
Pies.
pumpkin.
Punkin.
Yes, Punkin.
Right.
Punkin ''S. Pumpkin Pies on Facebook. On Instagram, we're Punkins_pies.
Nice.
Okay.
Did mom start calling you Punkin growing up?
Actually, it came from my older brother.
Wow.
Named me Punkin.
Okay.
Yes.
Shout out to Big Bro.
Shout out to
Yes.
Big Bro.
Man, and the
Does
legacy
he get a
lives
slice
on.
of the pie too? Says,
He get the
He
crust.
got the name. I can get the name.
oh, okay.
You
Big
get
Bro
a piece,
get the
you can't get the
crust.
first,
Yeah.
second piece.
He just had the name, but my mom has what made the business.
Yeah.
Fair.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Why is it important that people come out and they support and they eat pumpkin pies compared to other pies out there?
Because Punkin Pies is the best. And we're black owned.
I love
we
it.
are.
I love
Tonight
it.
is all
Talk it.
about
That's it.
diversity. So,
Talk about it.
yes, come
Black
out
History
and
Month just
support.
ended. Women's
sure.
History
Yes.
Month
We got
around
a
the
couple hours
corner.
left.
You got 2
Yeah,
months in a
we
row.
do.
Yes,
we got
that's
about
right.
6 hours left.
Before we turn into a pumpkin.
About 6 hours left. We
Before
got
the
to enjoy
28th
these.
ends. That's right.
No, that's amazing. We appreciate you, Miss Joanna, for
Thank
coming
you.
out.
Thank you for
so
having
much.
me.
Make sure y'all grab the pumpkins pies.
Pull
down
up.
at
The
the end.
strawberries
Pull
are
up.
immaculate.
Yes. We're at
She
the
told
amp.
you.
We're at the
Nutmeg gonna
amp,
be there.
1220 Waterway Boulevard.
16 Tech. Come see him.
Pull up
That's
on
right.
Pumpkin Pies now.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
guys.
much.
Thank you for
coming.
having us.
Told you it'd be
Next.
fun.
Next.
Next.
Check.
All right, still live from Gainsbridge right now. This is special to us, man. We are Uncle Nearest fans.
Oh, yeah.
For real. Drop
Oh,
more
yeah.
bombs, Q.
I'm a customer.
Indeed. We've consumed.
Yeah.
We're consumers. A big shout out to Steven from Uncle Nearest for being here. Round of applause for Steven, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming out, and man, let's get to it. Where can everybody find you on social media, Steven?
So you can find us at Uncle Nearest. I am at SP on the Rocks. I'm also at Way Too Shy.
Ooh,
Shy like Chicago or shy like Bashful?
Shy like Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
he's from the
Sound
city.
Yeah, let's
connection.
go.
That's
Okay.
right.
That's
Shout out,
real.
Stand up.
We start off every single pregame podcast interview with the pregame podcast pop quiz. We're gonna ask you a flurry of questions. You do your best to answer.
Let's go.
Let's get into it.
All right. How many cups of the Unk straight before you start to have a good night?
Oh man.
Straight's tough.
2, 3. Yeah.
There you go.
2, 3.
I'm on number 1.
Yes, it looks amazing
I'm trying
and
to catch
refreshing
up.
over there.
Now
very
I'm
nice
working,
old-fashioned.
so I ain't dipped into it quite yet, but
It's coming.
It's got to be like water for you at this point, though.
it is. It's it's a
dangerous.
blessing and a curse.
That's
Yeah,
dangerous,
for
man.
Got you. All right, I'll go next, man. Shout out to Chicago, Chi-Town. Who's your favorite Bulls player outside of Michael Jordan? Who you got?
Ooh.
It gets
Bill
tough, doesn't it?
Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright, I like it.
Cartwright. All right,
I like
alternative.
Because you
For
can't
sure.
forget the
Different.
way his shot looks.
Got you. Shout out to Bill Cartwright, man.
I was a BJ Armstrong kid.
I was a big BJ guy too.
BJ was
he
my
was
dog.
great. Yep.
That's real.
So what's your go-to concoction with the Uncle Nearest? We want to dazzle somebody that day.
You know, so right now we're in the middle of our HBCU Old Fashioned Challenge.
Whoa.
So for those that don't know, from Martin Luther King Day, which was January 16th, through the end of March, so through Black History Month, through National Women's History Month in March, for every Uncle Nearest Old Fashioned cocktail sold, we're going to be donating $1 to a fund to support
Wow, that's
historically
amazing,
Black colleges
man.
and universities. Up to
There
$1
you
million.
go.
Oh wait, what? This came out of a can?
That did not come out of a can. So
Oh.
we've got a barrel-aged cocktail that I made at home in these
okay.
Word.
whiskey barrels. So it's been sitting in this barrel for about 2-3 weeks, which isn't quite long enough, but it starts to pull some of the flavors from the oak out of the barrel.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I got
Wait,
the
you
can thing figured out. That came
you
out of
whipping this
can.
up at the crib?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's-
Hey,
it's
That's
easy.
a talent.
so where can we go to buy the HBCU Old Fashioned?
So we've got a lot of partners throughout town. So Union 50 is probably our #1 partner through the
Shout out to Union
HBCU
50s.
Challenge.
Okay.
Bodie, the Thai restaurant down Mass Ave. Hughes Culinary is absolutely killing it right now. So St. Elmo, HC Tavern.
Okay.
Okay.
Harry and Izzy's. We've got Mesh. And you can also support a retail account. So Community Spirits, Big Red Liquors, Kroger. A lot of places are on board with
Uncle
the
Nearest going
HBCU
crazy. He
challenge.
just named spots.
He did.
Big
he
spots.
did.
Spots with the food is fire.
We talked to another distro.
Definitely
All right, I got a
talking
question.
this, bro, man. Boss up. You a
Old
boss
fashioned
now.
plug.
You don't got to use names, but Steven, what are you drinking when you're not drinking? What's your other drink?
What's your other
if it's
spirit?
not whiskey, I'm tequila. If I'm eating a nice meal, I like a really nice red wine.
Okay.
Okay.
And, you
Shout
know,
out
if
to
I'm at a
tequila.
game, I'm knocking down a couple beers. You know,
There you go.
I don't discriminate.
Fair enough.
You got to cover your bottle up, though.
That's
We all about diversity tonight.
That's right.
So tell us, what do you do with Uncle Nearest?
So for Uncle Nearest, I'm the Midwest Director of Sales.
Okay.
I live
Oh.
here in Indianapolis, down in Fountain Square. I cover a handful of states west of here throughout the Midwest.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. Midwest kid bringing it back to the Midwest. That's amazing,
Yeah,
man.
from Chi, lived in Louisville, Kentucky, went to Omaha for a little bit. Now I'm in Indiana, so it's the Midwest circle.
Let's get into it, man. The Uncle Nearest story is amazing. The history behind it. It's a black-owned brand. It's amazing. But I want to know, how did you get connected to Uncle Nearest?
So I worked in liquor distribution business for 7-8 years. And when the pandemic hit, all of my opportunity kind of went out the window. And I had
Yeah.
a couple connections within Uncle Nearest that I've known previously that helped get me in touch with the right people.
That's awesome.
Landed a job with them in Omaha, built the Omaha market up throughout Nebraska.
Oh, they
like
buying
it's never
Unc in
been.
Omaha?
Man, you'd be surprised.
That's fire.
If you ask Fawn Weaver, our CEO and founder, what one of her favorite cities throughout the country is for Uncle Nearest, she's going to tell you Omaha.
Omaha,
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Okay.
I didn't know we was up there.
I didn't know they was.
I know we was out there.
I didn't know,
Uncle
man.
Nearest is available in all 50 states, and there's
There
some
you
really
go.
strong smaller states out there for us.
Okay.
Indeed.
Wow.
That's amazing,
The
man.
more you know.
Yeah, we're gonna ask Fawn one day. We gotta catch
For
him.
sure. We trying to get there.
Yeah.
Good luck. she be on the move.
Yeah, she
No,
does
that's real.
not stay still.
That's real. What makes Uncle Nearest special to you?
Uncle Nearest is special to me because our team is second to none. We have the most diverse, amazing group of people. Our leadership team, we're the only major spirit brand that has an all-female leadership team.
Wow.
So the culture within our company is different than any company I've ever worked with
sure.
before. Obviously, the diversity that it represents, the story behind it, if Nearest and Jack can have that kind of relationship back in the day in a time that was so unlikely back then,
Yep.
why can't everybody have that kind of relationship today? So
Oh, that's real.
that's kind of what it means to me, and the fact that the juice stands up on its own. It's won
Oh,
more
it's
awards
fire.
than every bourbon in the world for 4 straight years now.
Wow.
And when you taste it, you see why.
That's
crazy.
real. What are we working on? I know we were at corporate, man. Shout out to my boy DJ Who Is Q at the Keep Your Cool event, and Drew mentioned some different types of Uncle Nearest coming out. What can we expect this year?
Yeah, so right now we're working on the launch of our Uncle Nearest Straight Rye Whiskey.
I saw that.
I heard rumors about a rye.
Yeah, if you can see the banner over there
I
on the
saw
right.
the Sundry and Vice.
Okay.
Yeah, Sundry
Yeah.
and Vice pours a whole bunch of it.
Yeah.
Also, you can support the HBCU challenge there too. So
There you
shout
go.
out
Shout out to
and Vice.
Sundry.
Say less.
The Uncle Nearest
Say
Straight
less.
Rye is 100 proof. It's 100% rye. We source it from Canada, age it in New York to spec for American whiskey. Then we ship it down to Tennessee and we stick it in Uncle
Man.
Nearest barrels for 30 days. So it's this sweet beginning of a whiskey that transitions into a spicy vegetal, kind of a funky flavor that keeps you wanting more. And keeps
Hey,
you
when
thinking
y'all
a little
Uncle
bit.
Nearest guys get to talking about the flavors,
Yeah, man,
it's
y'all
always
really y'all go
interesting.
every
And the hands went
time.
right here.
Yeah.
You know,
Went
those
right
hands
to it.
get
He went right to it.
going.
They
Yeah.
got y'all stay barred up. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
it's
nuts.
something. It's a rye unlike any other rye that's on the market. So if you see it, cop it, give it a try.
Y'all pledging,
Wow.
y'all pledging over there, Uncle Nearest. Y'all,
Yeah,
y'all know
no,
the
y'all
founders,
know y'all
all that
info.
stuff. Yeah, know some poems.
To be Uncle Nearest, bro, you gotta know your info.
Gotta
And
know
it's
your
real.
info.
That's crazy,
My
man.
Q
Marketing.
with the bottle.
Oh, whoa,
Boom.
man.
That was
sure,
my
make
favorite
sure I
one
grab
for
that.
a while. That one hits a little harder in the pocket and in the
Yeah,
the boat.
yeah.
It does.
Smack it in the
1856.
face.
In the chest.
It does, but
Both
it's worth
ways.
every penny. So Uncle Nearest 1856 is the brand that we launched the whiskey that we launched the brand with in July 2017.
Got you.
It's 100 proof. It's a little bit darker and richer than the
darker this
Uncle
time.
Nearest small
way
batch.
darker this time.
But that's my baby right there.
Hey,
There you go.
I can as soon as you put it down,
he said, let me straighten that.
Hey.
Straighten that label.
There
out.
it
Yeah, my
is.
girl messed up.
I know. This past summer, you all opened up the distillery down in what's the state? Remind me of the state.
Tennessee. So in
Tennessee.
Shelbyville, Tennessee.
What was that like? Were you able to be there? You know, can you kind of describe that feeling of having the distillery now put in place and what that
Yes.
means for the brand?
Yeah, so we had the grand reopening of the distillery post-COVID on Juneteenth of 2021.
There you go.
And it was very special. We invited all of Nearest Green's descendants down to be a part of the grand
that's
reopening.
very
hard.
And then the place is amazing. It's on 323 acres of a former Tennessee walking horse farm.
Wow.
That we've turned into what we like to call Malt Disney World.
Wow.
The place is absolutely
Hey, y'all got it all covered. Y'all
Yeah,
fire.
y'all going crazy.
Yeah, it's nice. We'll get you down there sometime.
Nah, that's
Hey,
real.
don't frighten me with a good time, bro.
Hey, it's on us.
Tennessee is driveable.
For sure.
It is.
5 hours and you're at our doorstep.
That's amazing. Can you speak to that experience though? I mean, I've been to vineyards and things like that, but what is the Uncle Nearest distillery offering that you probably can't get anywhere else?
So most recently we opened the Humble Baron, which is going to hold the Guinness World Record for the world's longest bar. It opens up to a state-of-the-art entertainment complex that'll host up to 15,000 people, I think,
Oh,
outside. We have a
Okay.
gift shop
Wow.
that
It
was
really is
designed-
Malt Disney World.
It's big.
like seriously.
Our gift shop was designed by the same person that designed the gift shop for Disney World.
Okay.
So we really got some key players. We have a James Beard awarded or nominated chef-driven restaurant there. Our cocktail program was
Mr. Chocolate.
curated by Death and Company, which is a world-famous cocktail bar out of New York. There's still horses on site. The still is there. We have multiple tasting rooms. I mean, when you get on the
Wow.
grounds, you can feel that Nearest would be proud.
Wow.
That's honestly so.
That's crazy.
When it comes to
Pull up.
products, I feel like y'all have storytelling to a degree that most brands just can't come near.
Yeah.
And it's not even a question. It's something I don't know. It's very fire to me. The second I heard the story, I was invested in the company.
Yeah.
And the fact that the product is also great makes it so much easier to support. So,
Everybody's got a story. Ours just happens to be true, and it happens to be important. Not saying that other brands' stories aren't true, but ours goes back, almost 200 years ago.
Wow.
And if you can go back and change what happened back then, the world would look completely different. I mean, Jack Daniel's is an amazing, huge brand. It's the most valuable spirit brand in the world.
Really?
I like to use
know
the analogy of the Back to the Future. If you go back in the DeLorean and you prevent them from meeting each other and you hold up the Polaroid, what does the banner say?
Right,
What
right.
does it look like? It can change a lot of things.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
That's
it
crazy.
would have changed my weekend
For sure.
for sure.
And for those that don't know, we've had Drew on the show a couple years ago. Can you just, walk us through the Uncle Nearest story, the origin story of Uncle Nearest and how it came to be?
Yeah, sure. So first, let's shout out Drew. Drew's at home playing daddy duty. He's got
Shout out
a
to
whole
Drew.
bunch-
Oh,
Happy
congratulations,
fast,
man.
I know you had a kid, Drew.
Drew's on some paternity leave, so shout
What?
out.
Hey, man.
Congrats, Papa
Hey, man,
Drew.
round of applause for
Yeah.
Drew, man. I had no idea. Congrats, bro. Welcome.
But
Right.
yeah.
Welcome to the squad.
Yeah, we all doing it.
So a little bit about the history. Nearest Green is known as the first known African-American master distiller in the history of the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
He was making whiskey on a farm that was owned by Dan Call. Dan Call had a small whiskey operation in the back where Nearest and his 3 sons worked. Dan Call was eventually approached by a young white kid, an orphan, needing just a job as a chore boy, looking for some work. Dan Call took him in. Over the years, he eventually introduced him to Nearest Green, said, "This is the best whiskey maker I know."
Wow.
Nearest Green took this kid in, taught him the art of making Tennessee whiskey. That kid eventually grew up, saved money, bought the distillery after Dan Call, but from Dan Call, named it after himself, and hired Nearest to be the first head distiller of that brand. And that brand is Jack Daniels, as we already know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So our founder and CEO, Fawn, heard a small blurb in the New York Times in 2016, I believe, by Clay Risen that said, Jack Daniels finds success, ... with the help of a slave. And as an African-American woman, an entrepreneur, a historian,
A boss.
a New York Times
Man.
best-selling author, and just a boss.
Crazy.
She thought, what? How come I don't know about this and the world needs to know about it? So she went and did so much research, and the more she uncovered, the more she was inspired to tell the world Nearest Green's story. And she ended up doing it through making a whiskey brand, and it's now the fastest-growing American spirit brand in U.S. history.
And here it is now.
You're welcome.
Let that inspire you.
Played a
That's
part in
crazy.
that.
Facts.
For sure.
I'm invested.
Nah, that's
I'm trying
that's
to be.
amazing. man.
For real.
You're not public yet, are you?
No, we're privately held,
Okay.
and we will remain that way.
Okay.
Got you. I know,
Stay that way.
I know there's a lot of creatives, and shout out to Drew for opening this door here in the city, and also shout out to you, Steven, that want to get involved or have Uncle Nearest at their events. What's the best way? How can they make that happen for themselves at an event that they're throwing?
If you want to get involved with us, we just recently launched on our events page. If you go to unclenearest.com/events, there's a form you can fill out that will get you in touch with the right people for any events, sponsorship requests, things like that. We're starting to get so many of them as the brand grows that we had to find an actual way to filter through them and
makes
get them
sense.
to the right people. So if you're interested in getting involved with us, just do that. If you know me or Drew personally, give us a shout, jump in the DMs, shoot us an email. We're happy to talk to everybody.
Man, that's amazing. Man, round of applause for Steven for
Definitely,
Uncle Nearest
man.
coming through,
Thank you,
dropping more
appreciate it.
gems, man, sharing more bars about Uncle Nearest.
Now, when
Which
Drew
is an
came
amazing
through, Drew
whiskey
brought a
brand.
special bottle with the label was handwritten.
Okay.
Whenever you know what I'm saying, find one of those again, let us know.
Gotcha.
Steven, like,
If you find one of them, let me know too.
Where he get that?
I said, what proof is that?
Hold on,
It was like
hold on.
113. I was like, I ain't never seen that before, bro.
Yeah, did he make that at home?
Drew's OG in the game. Drew was one of the first employees for Uncle Nearest, so he's probably got some things that some other
He
people
tied
don't.
in.
For sure.
He's a
Indeed. Man, let's move on.
Thank you, Steven.
Man,
Appreciate
appreciate you,
you.
Steven.
I appreciate y'all. Thanks
Shout out
for
to
having
Uncle
me.
Nearest. Next. All right, this is a big deal. Round of applause for Miss Senior Vice President Tracy
Yeah.
Ellis-Ward in the
Yeah.
building right now. Indeed, she helped us out with this opportunity.
She
We
got
are
us
super
here.
grateful.
Madam.
She got us on the
Man,
stage.
Madam Ellis-Ward.
Man.
She's the
Appreciate
reason
you.
we made it.
Glowing, shining. We appreciate you so much. Another round of applause. 'Cause it's just,
Yeah.
no, thank you. Thank you so much. We start off every single pregame podcast interview with the pregame podcast pop quiz. So we ask you a flurry of questions. You just do your best answer.
Okay. Oh boy.
I'll
All
start.
right.
You're a former basketball player, right?
Correct.
Biggest shot you
Ooh.
ever hit.
Biggest shot I ever hit. It's hard to say. I would say probably my biggest game was
Biggest
my
game.
last.
Okay, that's fair.
My last game of my career. I scored 30 points.
Oh, you
Wow.
was
Look at
30
that.
ball.
Oh, you put
Nigga,
them
I always
points
walk
up.
around. I'll put 30 on you. Better
Right.
leave me alone. I'll put 30 on you.
Miss Ward
Stop
out.
playing with
That's
me.
nice. I like that.
So working with the organization, obviously you're going to see some games. What team coming to town is your favorite?
Ooh, I don't really have a favorite NBA team. It's really
Okay.
hard to say because I used to work for the league back in the day, so
Got you.
we never really were quote unquote allowed to have favorites.
That's
So,
fair.
Miss
I have
Tracy,
to
your,
say-
your
Low-key.
favorite team
no,
is the
I have
Pacers.
to, yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah,
go-
that's
I gotta
how
go
we
with the
getting down around
Pacers all
here.
day.
I respect it.
What has been your favorite moment as a member of the Indiana Pacers thus far?
I
think my favorite moment really is just probably day one since I've been here. I just finished up my first year.
Nice.
Rookie year.
Yeah, finished my rookie year. I think when I came here, I had really high expectations. Every career path that I've taken, every job, I've either come to start something new or fix something broken.
There you go.
So this is an opportunity to create a path that hasn't ever been created here before. So
Wow.
for me, that brings me great joy every day.
It's awesome.
Got you.
Shout out to people that love their jobs.
Yes,
They wanna go to
and
work
finding
every
your
day.
passion and purpose is
Yeah,
amazing.
that's important.
Salute to you. My question, I'm a homer, so I love Indianapolis, Indiana. What is your favorite thing about the city of Indianapolis?
Well, I have been a transplant from New York City. I have
okay.
not found great pizza yet.
Got you.
So, but I do.
You're not going to. I'll be honest with you. You're not going to.
Indy doesn't specialize in pizza, and that's not enough. They just don't.
But I do like the canal. I live by the
Yes.
Monon. I love a lot of the outdoor.
There you go.
Activities that
nice.
I've been able to tap into since I moved here. I found a really great Indian restaurant a couple weeks
Okay.
ago, so I really like that.
Indian food
So
is-
I'm just
yeah.
trying to
good.
get my repertoire of
There you go.
kind of ethnic food that I really like. 'Cause
I
I'm a
like
little bit
that.
of a emerging foodie.
Got
Okay.
you.
Me too.
Nice.
Okay.
I ain't emerging. I've been here. Though.
Yeah, he's an
Yeah, for
established.
sure.
Yeah, I'm better.
Indeed. I'm a picky eater, so I need to actually dip and dab into some Indian food, for sure. If I do try Indian restaurant, what should be the go-to? What's the starter meal?
Butter chicken.
Butter chicken's good, but I am a vegetarian, so I tend to lean towards more lentil dishes with
Veggie.
rice.
Okay.
I'm a
Yeah.
chickpea guy if I
Yeah.
gotta go veggie.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I like to get the stuff I can't pronounce. I like to make it awkward in there.
There you go. Yeah, I got you, man.
Yeah, can you give me the
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I got you.
Well, the
let's-
key
let's-
is the spice level. You
Yep.
know, is
There
it
you go.
mild, hot, and then I just found out that there's something called Indian hot that they don't necessarily put on the menu.
Ooh.
So
Hidden menu items.
and when they say hot, they mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, they're not
I wouldn't-
playing.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't get the Indian.
Sometimes the Thai spots be playing,
Nah, this
but it's
they bad.
they being real. Well, round of applause again
Thank
for the
you.
pregame pods quiz. Thank you so much. So I know diversity, equity, inclusion work is extremely important. Why is this something you really sought out and wanted to be a part of in your career?
I think just growing up as a child, I always wondered why. I was that kid that always asked why.
And this was in New York.
I actually am an Ohio native.
Okay.
Oh,
Respect
okay.
Ohio.
Midwest roots with a New York
Midwest
edge.
kid.
Got it.
That's what how I usually describe myself. But I just always grew up asking why.
Yeah.
In kindergarten, I was one of the only kid of color in kindergarten. Went to college, a predominantly white institution.
Yeah, we PWI kids too.
Went to a predominantly white Catholic high school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you
So
went through the ringer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I've always wondered why. Why don't I see more people that look like me? And
Right.
I think that kind of has shaped my career path and my passions in a lot of different and unique ways. So I'm really, like you said earlier, just really living my purpose in this role right now.
No, that's real. I know you said you always bring something new to wherever you go. What have you brought new to the Pacers organization this year?
Well, this event.
There you
Bridge
go.
to
And
Gain,
congratulations
Well,
on your
congratulations.
two.
This
This is a great
amazing.
event. Wow.
This
is
event
amazing.
Is new. I started last January, and
Okay.
almost 30 days later, they're like, "Let's have an event." And so we had our first Bridge to Gain last year, and
Okay.
so we really want this to become a signature event. But another cool thing that I've been doing in the office is called, what we've called it, DEI on Tap.
Okay.
Okay, y'all partying.
So we have we've tried to have them quarterly, and it's just really organic conversations around hot topics.
There you go. Oh, I love that.
I
Okay.
think-
in the space. The last one we had was around generational differences, so people can come and have a glass of wine,
I'd like to
have
hear
a
that one.
beer.
That's a tough conversation
Yeah,
over a
this
glass
is-
of wine.
Yeah.
That might get dark.
Yeah.
Or also we have non-alcoholic beverages as well. But again,
Gotcha.
it's just a way to create another way and avenue for people to connect in
That's
a
real.
non-formal, not training or a workshop, but again, just having some real organic conversations.
Okay,
love that.
so
Wonderful.
so coming off of the heels of Black History Month and they're rolling into Women's History Month, for you, I mean, have you taken time to really realize the trail you're blazing as those things kind of connect?
I have not.
You should.
I haven't really, and I think for me, because I'm I have a word of the year every year, and so this year, 2023, my word is forward.
Okay.
Ooh,
So
okay.
I'm not really looking back.
Smell some
There you
flowers.
go.
Like you really, I mean, literally.
No, this is amazing.
Our word's consistency for the year.
Good.
So,
I love
as I say this all the my bad.
It's my other job.
I say this all the time. We live in the future now, and so DEI roles in a lot of businesses is new in the last couple of years. What are some of the challenges that maybe you have faced? Trying to establish like what's going on and do things with that.
Yeah, that's a great question. I do think that probably the last 2 years, again, post George Floyd particularly, a lot of organizations have been hiring similar roles. And I think I have a high respect for this organization and the ownership. Herb Simon and his son Steve, my boss Rick Fusion. When I came and interviewed for this position, I was very, I don't want to say skeptical, but I was very upfront about what needed to happen.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not moving 3,000 miles away if you're not serious about this work.
There you go.
Talk it. That's tight. I want to
Stand on it. Stand in it.
So that was very important to me in having those conversations during the interview process. And they have, stood by and lived up to their word the past year. So I'm really thankful that I have support. And as you said, it's hard work, but it doesn't happen overnight. It's a marathon. Right. And so I have to really every day think about my small successes and figure out how to build on those small successes to leave legacy, because at some point I'm going to retire. Right? Yeah. But I want the work that I'm doing here to stand and be lasting. And so I think part of the struggle in this work is so many times you see performative things, but I'm really trying to think strategic for us as an organization.
That's real.
How do you explain DEI to the average person to kind of let them know what it is you actually are about?
Well, I think diversity really oftentimes focuses on numbers in terms of hiring people, what the racial and ethnic makeup of an organization is. I think when you talk about inclusion, you're talking about bringing people in from all different facets of life, and not only racial, but also economic inclusion, educational inclusion. So it's much broader than that. And then equity is not about being equal. Equity is about giving the person what they need to meet the need, particular needs, right? So sometimes people do confuse the words equity and equality.
So equity is more of a sliding scale depending upon what you need.
Depending on what you need.
Correct.
Okay.
So there's this great image of 3 kids watching a baseball game over a fence. I don't know if you're familiar with that, right? So there's the 6-foot kid doesn't really need a box to stand on to see the game, but the 5'2" kid might need a box to stand on. So that's an equitable situation by giving that young man a box to stand on to see the game. So my role is to make sure everybody's in the game.
Thank you for giving us a box to stand on.
Thank you so much. For sure.
Legitimately.
Yes, please.
Thank you. You gave us a stage to stand on, actually. I appreciate that.
This is nuts. We walked in and I was just in awe.
He cried a little bit. He said he was putting his contacts in. There was water on his face.
Can you speak to the power and the impact of having people see a black woman in leadership, and how important it is, like you said, your bosses, you told them you weren't joking around, how important it is to have them make sure they want your leadership and push that forward?
Yeah, I think I do take my role seriously here as a woman of color because I don't see anybody else sitting at the table
there you go.
With me. And again, I've kind of experienced that throughout my career. So I do take on that burden, and I welcome it. Some people, it can be a little bit overwhelming, but I just feel like that God has me in this place, in this season in life, in Indianapolis, at Pacers Sports and Entertainment, to do this work, as I mentioned before. So I don't take it lightly. I do try to help other women of color in the organization, and I do feel a sense of ownership in the community to represent the company, and not only myself, but also, my ancestors, my mom, my dad, my kids. So I know that what I'm doing is not just about me.
Right.
That's real.
That's powerful. This is, representation is just so key when you can see it. Oh, I didn't know she could be the senior right yet. You
extremely powerful.
SVP. That's not a game. That's really close to the other thing. That's right there.
Indeed. And I know you mentioned how, in the NBA, you don't necessarily have a favorite team. One thing I love about the NBA is that the NBA has embraced black culture. I would say more so than other leagues around the world. And so, how does that, continue to impact the work that you do, and what does that mean to you as someone who's a part of a team here in the NBA, the Pacers, the best team in the league?
I mean, it's huge. Again, having worked at the league under the auspices of David Stern, rest his soul when he was there, and now Adam as the commissioner. So I've seen the evolution of the league, and so I do not take it for granted that they have really pushed teams in this space, to be honest. I mean, you look at Atlanta, they had this similar role 8-9 years ago.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
So more and more teams over the years have developed similar roles, but not all of them are C-suite either. So there's varying levels, I don't want to say of commitment, but varying levels of my role.
There you go.
From team to team.
Talk
so
about
again,
it.
I don't
C-suite.
take it lightly that I'm, that I have a seat at the table, and that I have to use my voice in a way that's going to help propel this organization to be better.
Okay.
That's real.
Wow.
Yeah, this is amazing.
I just want to personally thank you one more time. It doesn't.
It's
Nobody
incredible.
else says that you legitimately impacted 5 men.
No,
today.
for sure,
Yeah.
forever. No, thank you. I FaceTime
great.
my wife, and she lit up. So I appreciate you
Well,
for
we're
giving this opportunity.
thrilled to have you, and thank you for making the time to come out. This is very special for me and for my staff, and I would say the young ones pushed me to make this happen.
Yeah,
right?
nah, this is
Because
Thank y'all too.
my concept of the event was too boring. So they were like, no, we need curated experiences. We need a pop-up podcast.
That's the new word.
We need this. We
No,
need that.
there
I was
you
like,
go.
okay, well, what do those things look like?
You gotta
And so-
curate.
And
Yeah,
so here we
curation
are.
is
Well, thank
You
you
gotta
for
curate,
listening.
you
Thank
gotta
you for listening,
collab.
Senior Vice President.
do
Thank
both
you
of
for
those two
listening.
things.
Nah,
Well, thank you for having me.
we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Next.
Next.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
No, we appreciate
We're gonna
you.
keep thanking you in email. Hey, thanks again.
I got 2 more thank
You're gonna hear it from us.
We still live for Gainsbridge.
Bridge to game.
Yeah, for sure. We here.
And look where we at.
And we
I better
yes,
stop.
it's big
They can't
time,
stop
big
playing.
time,
They
big
can't see
time. The
it.
Jumbotron is
stop
right in
playing.
front of us,
Yeah,
and we are
Yep.
talking to legends. If you're a Pacer fan, if you follow anything the Pacers are doing, you got to make sure you connect with Daniel Stallings because he's a part of the digital media team. And we like to say in our personal chat, we call it Pacers propaganda. So just feeding us positivity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Gifts, legit.
Donations.
Donations, gifts, Twitter
Gifts.
videos. It's amazing. We appreciate you. Round of applause, Daniel Stallings
Big
from
time.
the digital media
Appreciate
team,
it,
man.
guys.
Trailblazer.
Video producer for
Miss
the
Tracy
Pacers.
said we had to.
And so we gonna do whatever she say do.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Nah, we appreciate you, man. So how did you get into this? Well, excuse me. Let me back up. I'm sorry. I'm getting too excited. This is the PreGame podcast.
Okay.
We always start off each interview with the PreGame podcast pop quiz. We ask you
All right.
clarity questions. You just do your best to answer.
Oh, wow.
2
I'll
thoughts. My
start.
bad.
What's the first camera you picked up?
Ooh.
Ooh, I had a T2i, like everybody else in college. Yeah, for sure.
Here
Old
goes
school.
Look, were you done? My bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So, my question: what is your dream moment to capture?
Oh, I want to definitely be at the WNBA Finals. I want to capture just a game-winning play or a game-winning moment. That would be big
Okay.
for me. For
Shout out
sure.
to
That's
WNBA.
hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to the Fever.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
shout out to the
Yes,
Fever.
sir.
Shout out to the Fever.
For sure. For me, man. So listen, what's your favorite? What's your favorite social media platform? As someone who's kind of in that space, which one you rocking with the most?
Yeah, I love Twitter because I feel like that's where our community is
favorite
talking
place.
the most.
Yeah,
it's my
So
favorite
I just
place.
want to see what people are doing, and there's so much like behind the scenes that people will start showing there that they're not showing on Instagram. So
There
for
you
sure.
go.
Yeah,
I like Twitter too.
yeah, Twitter's it.
Yeah, indeed.
Are you so I got it's like a creative question.
Okay.
Where are you well, I don't think I have one a good one right now. Are you more of a black and white shot or full color these days? What do you feel like is better?
Okay, so I love when I get a chance to actually do photo because I'm so primarily video. I love to give you guys like 5 straight color and then something that's really passionate in black and white. Black and
Okay.
white's for something special. You
Okay.
can't use
Gotcha.
it all the time. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, you got the pop quiz.
Is that hold on?
That's
Reach
all.
you
No, that
go.
was it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
went
yeah,
first.
he gave it to
Oh
me.
man,
Yeah,
listen,
yeah.
man, round of applause to
Yeah, I
Daniel
was
Stallings for
Yes,
being here. I
sir.
had to check to make sure we finished the quiz
Yeah,
there.
for
So I want to get straight to it.
Okay.
When it comes to digital media, it's when I'm on Twitter and I see the Pacers. Number one, y'all do amazing work.
Oh, I appreciate
And I don't,
that. We appreciate that.
I think when it comes out in the NBA, I feel like y'all do phenomenal work across the board.
Takes a whole team.
Indeed. I want to know what's the process like. A play happens, I see it on my feed.
Okay.
How does that work?
All right, so, Charlotte Hornets, we're going against them in Charlotte. Buddy Hill hits a layup. He runs to the camera, and he's like, let's go. I'm on the floor. I'm capturing that. I take the card out of my camera. I put it into my phone.
crazy.
I send it back home. One of our guys, DJ, Marco, John, they're going to cut that thing up. They're going to send it to the social team. The social team is going to come up with some copy, and we're going to try to get that out as real time as possible.
It's crazy, right?
Do the players know to look for you?
Yeah, like it's funny. Like you get more familiar over the time. You know, I'm about to go on my first year here, so in the beginning they might not have recognized me, but over time it happens.
Yeah. You ever tell somebody to chill out? Like, all right, bro, it's just a layup. Relax. I'll send it back, but I don't know if we're gonna post it, my dog.
Definitely some moments where people are on the bench just like, yo, shoot me. I want to see that later, and everything ain't a flick moment.
There you go. What's your favorite moment that you captured this far this season?
Oh, wow. I had opportunity to sit down with Andrew Nimhard's dad, and we worked on the Rising Stars piece, and just hearing him talk about his son and how they dreamed about getting to this moment, that's just phenomenal.
Had you choked up a little bit.
Yeah, shout out to Drew, man.
Yeah, he's been balling. He had those big moments earlier this season.
Indeed.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I appreciate the game's winning shot against the Lakers.
Yes, sir.
That was fire. Ooh. Fire. What do you love most about the Pacers, man? What makes the Pacers special, near and dear to you?
Man, this team is fun. They actually love each other, you know, and
that's good to hear.
You know, sometimes you go around the league and you just see a lot of ways that people are connecting, but it just feels so genuine here at home, and the guys want to be good, and you know, through the tough up and downs or whatever, like you just see them working. And I feel like I can relate to that as a person. Yeah. You know, like I'm hungry. I'm not winning the way I want to win today, but I know I want to win tomorrow. And like just seeing them putting in the work, you can't help but be inspired. You seeing guys living their dreams. They work their whole life to be here, so they're not taking it for granted.
That was really on display today in Dallas when Ben was singing "Happy Birthday" in French to Ty. It was like you can see y'all really
love
like each other.
Oh, yeah,
y'all friends.
Brothers.
Yeah,
like y'all hang out after this.
Yeah. It's not it's beyond practice.
Yeah.
How do you detach as a fan of the game, but also at work? You see a play, you can't put the camera down and cheer. You got to make sure you're in the moment.
And
how do you do that?
I would say first week I struggled. You know, I was just so excited to have reached my own dream and be here in the NBA.
That's real.
But I think that what helps you is I take my craft just as seriously as they take theirs. I want to be a professional. I'm in the gym too.
Yeah.
So like I want to be seen a certain way. I want to be seen
putting
in a
up
certain
100 shots a day.
Exactly.
Literally.
Nah, that's crazy.
In order to get to that end result, you got to just act like you've been there, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, you got to.
I want to hear the journey though. So how did this all come about for you, man, in making this happen? It's a dream job for a lot of people.
For sure.
What's the origin story?
There's a lot of people with Canada at the end of their Instagram name that want to do this.
Yeah, man.
Putting the picture, the camera emoji up.
Yeah.
And the captions.
So I went to school for psychology. I ended up working 10 years in IT.
You don't look 50, my brother.
Yeah, so I was working. I've been working full time since like I was 17. Just to get paid for school, and I was doing it because, you know, IT, you knew you always had money in that, but it wasn't my passion, so I was shooting on the side. I was doing a lot of portraits and films and things of that nature, and my alma mater they lost a position. They had opening in their athletic department. They were looking for a director of video. Now, I had never been in a full-time video world, but I had so many people who were recommending me, and it just aligned. It was God, you know, and
for sure.
I think that I got there, and within 6 months, I had really turned our whole video situation around. And I realized that as much as I really appreciated them, I thought that I could see myself transitioning into this world and really going after it. Somebody sent me this job when it opened, and I just pressed send.
Where you from originally, bro?
Yeah, where was this?
Yeah, so I was born in Jacksonville, but I was in Fort Myers, Florida. I was at FGCU.
Gotcha.
I don't know if y'all remember 2012 Dunk City.
For the go coach,
Yes, sir.
Man, we're crazy.
Yes, sir. I was a sophomore back then.
You don't forget.
Yeah, I was a sophomore back then, so I remember jumping on the news and going crazy. So. Yeah, just to come to Indianapolis, you know, thank God for my wife being so willing to take that travel with me, having a
Shout
rider
out
like
to the
that.
Wives holding us down.
For sure.
She could have said no.
She had to come
down.
She said it all down.
Wait, hold on.
Babe, it snows up there.
Weather does what?
Yeah, we leaving Florida, the beach.
Yeah.
Nah.
She love you.
Yeah, she does.
She love you.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
A blessed man.
Yeah, I'm definitely blessed.
What's your favorite part about? I know you mentioned, you know what I'm saying, watching the hustle and grind of the Pacers team, but what's also something that draws you into this work?
Yeah, so I think that it's so easy to get caught up in oh, Steph hit 10 threes or somebody's doing an amazing dunk, but what I just love is the story. And a lot of times we get to take all that footage and really cut up something that tells something beyond the game, that talks about why Ben's doing it for his home when
like
he gets
Ben
to
with
meet
his
up
mom
with
came and cooked.
exactly.
Yeah,
Just
that was
telling
fire.
those stories.
That was fire.
That's
for
the
sure.
game. Like the game is, obviously it's on the floor, but they are changing lives behind in the community when he's giving out turkeys. Like they're just changing so many lives, and
The
that's
game
what I like
becomes
doing.
on the side almost.
Exactly.
Man.
Hey, man, I appreciate your passion, bro.
Yeah,
this was fun.
You needed to be here. Tracy knew this was important.
Yeah,
Well, I
it's
appreciate
crazy.
y'all. I love what y'all doing. I appreciate y'all.
Nah, I
being here.
appreciate you, Daniel.
Let us know how our camera angles are. They probably trash.
And then let us know how we doing back there. He like, oh, I should fix that. Their cords over there.
Y'all just need to move this a little
Look good to me.
Y'all not going to adjust that? Okay.
Okay, all right. Y'all let it hang like that. All right.
Y'all got a good thing going.
Y'all don't care about none of that.
Y'all got a good thing going.
So you don't
man.
want to see him? Okay.
Hey, I know we're in the content creation world right now. How do you know when something is good? It's good work.
Ooh. You know, when I'm working on something that I think is impactful, I can't help but smile. And I think that's how I know that it's transcending to somebody else. Like if you watch it and it just starts bringing a piece over you and you're just like, man, like that's sensational. There was this one, small thing where from Canada, Ben had family come and they were coming to see the gym and the practice arena for the first time, and you could feel their joy through the video. I just knew that no matter if it was 1 million plays, 100,000 plays, or what, whoever watched this was
That
gonna be
piece of
touched by
content was
moment.
important.
That was gonna be crazy.
Exactly. That's how I know.
Wonderful.
This is fire, man.
Man, this is extremely fire. I got one more question. We
Give
done.
it to me. Give it to
We
me.
talking to the Pacers for real. This crazy. I'm watching the game. Nuts.
You in the gym too? You in the gym?
No,
Y'all in the gym
this
right
is
now.
easy right now.
Yeah, y'all in the gym right now.
So, like,
Said we in the gym. I don't know if y'all heard this.
What else y'all have in store? Because I love those moments, man. And legit, we really do give. Shout out to my boys, man. We've been Pacers fans since we was kids.
Wow, you
we
grew
really
up
do give
dreaming
a
of this
lot
moment.
of a lot of kudos to what the digital media team does, man.
Wow.
It's second to none for
Yeah.
real.
I appreciate
So like,
that.
what else are y'all working on this year that we can look forward to as Pacers fans?
For sure. I think that what we really want to hone in right now is showing you guys the individual development stories of all of these guys. Everybody has had a different role, whether it's Chris Duarte coming back from injury, Isaiah Jackson showing up and coming in and out of the G and like just being a phenomenal block meister, or Miles
crazy.
really getting that that contract extension and saying I deserve not only to be here but to be a
Miles
rock
said, I ain't
here.
never leaving y'all.
I ain't
Actually,
never
I love
leaving,
it here.
Right. Like,
Right.
so
I'm trying
those
to
are
move all
just
these Legos.
big moments, and we really want to dive in and tell you the behind the scenes of what that feels like, what that means, and what it's going to mean for years to come, because there's a whole new generation of Pacers fans that's seeing this young team. Y'all seen it from the ground, but now you got the world watching, and Tyrese is showing you an all-star.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate that 31 and 3-point contest, Tyrese.
Chew on that, Wally Zerbiak.
Hallie, what up?
Yeah,
Hater.
Wally weirdo.
Yeah, fake wannabe all-star.
Wally's
Won't say too much.
What's his
Hope
name?
you watching, Wally.
Tyrese is that dude.
Yeah,
For real.
Yes.
He's him for sure.
Indeed. Man, round of applause, Dan.
Hey,
Stallings,
everybody
man.
is geeked to see you up
Hey,
there.
I know. Hey,
is like
man.
him.
One of my friends gonna be geeked. Now this is major. We
Thank
appreciate
y'all. I
you.
appreciate that.
For sure.
Yeah, God bless y'all.
Appreciate you, man.
Next.
Too, bro.
Yep,
Next.
All right, we got Henny in the building, man. Listen. As the night continues,
We in
the
Gainbridge.
guests just
Yeah, it keeps
all
growing.
the way up, levels. You know what I mean? We at the ceiling right now. For sure, man. Round of applause for Henny, man. For
Yes,
Henny and the
ma'am.
Fever for being
Let's go.
here.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
For
it.
crazy. And the fits already. Can we get
Yeah,
into
we're
the
gonna
fits?
talk
We
about
got
the fits.
Okay. Yeah,
She said it's light. Y'all
it's
tripping.
light.
Yeah, I put
We
this
here
on because they asked
now.
me to. I really had some on my butt, but you
she's
know.
Nah,
It's
put
light.
it on, Henny. Put it on for sure. Where can everybody find you? Number one, if you don't already, which is crazy.
On Instagram.
Social
Wherever-
media.
Oh, okay. So everybody can find me on TikTok, on Instagram at dhenny, and that's with a 3, not an E.
All right, let's do it, man. We start off every single pregame podcast interview with the pregame podcast pop quiz. Gonna ask you flurry of questions. Just do your best to answer.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
All right, so I'll start. So I probably started following you around draft time. I was like, wow, she fresh. At this point, I probably consider you the freshest professional athlete in Indiana for sure. For sure. So what I want to
She
say,
said
what
light.
is,
Like,
she said, it's
Yeah,
more
that's
than
me.
that.
That's
but-
me.
they'll make it
thank
hard.
you. Yeah. She said, these things is dusty. But what is your go-to sneaker? If you just, you know it's going to bust their ass, it's going to be crazy. What is it?
I mean, I don't really even think like that. It's just when whatever go with the fit.
Okay.
I know I can pull it off. So
Okay. I like that energy. She said, "Oh, it's gonna look good when I put it on."
But at a point, I was like a low dunk type of person.
Gotcha.
I got a lot of low dunks, but
They wore them out. You don't like them no more. They too mainstream.
The colorways changing on
She don't
us.
want to see
Destiny.
no
They
more
changing
panda
on us,
dunks,
man.
ever.
Yeah, the panda
For sure.
dunkers, they should be extinct.
Wore out.
Yeah, I thought pandas was extinct.
They didn't
They
want
not.
panda
I
out.
mess with the pandas though. I like black, so it's like can't go wrong.
You can't go
It
wrong
worked
with
out.
it, but they didn't. Man, just give us a break, please. Goodness gracious.
Y'all
Call
gotta lay
Peter.
off.
They come out again in like 2 days. Like, they about to drop again.
Them the OGs. You can't
Another
go wrong with
restock. Oh, another one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, game winning shot or New York Fashion Week for your brand.
Ooh.
What's a bigger moment for you?
I would say probably New York Fashion Week, just because you didn't specific the game winning shot.
Got you. Just regular
If it's
old
like
game.
a championship game, then it's something different. But if it's just a game winning shot,
Because
then,
I did that. Ain't a big deal.
Been there before. Been down that road.
yeah, New York Fashion Week for sure.
When did you know you had game? Like, oh, you know what? I'm better now, y'all. I know now. When did you know? And it could have been 6 years old, could have been 16. There's a point where you're like, yep,
Yep, they can't see me.
it's me. I'm the one.
Well, I got my first offer in the 8th grade.
Yep. So you knew early.
Wow. That's how you know.
knew early.
Yeah. I'm
So,
going to
like,
school.
Once I started getting offers, it was just like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And the O's take you be like, you know what?
What made you pick South
Carolina?
Carolina?
Believe it or not, that was actually, y'all got me on here looking crazy. I just ate.
Nah,
you
look
good.
You look
Check
good.
me out. But so I got my first offer in the 8th grade, and that was actually South Carolina.
Okay.
So like, eventually, like I was young, so I really didn't know the logistics of everything. So once I got a little older, I would say around high school, I started getting more and more offers and knew what that type of scholarship meant. So I feel like ever since then, it's just been up from there, and I just,
Okay.
Sorry.
I
No,
feel
that's
like
real.
Don Staley is just
Well, Don Staley is, yes.
What is it? And this
you
is
can't call
your
it
part
Don,
of
it's
the.
Dawn. You
I'm
gotta have
sorry.
the
My
accent
bad,
with it.
Dawn. My mama named Dawn. I can't call it Dawn.
Coach Staley has
next time I
become
see her.
the premier coach, and that's crazy because we're from the Gina R.M. era, and South Carolina is the premier program in the country. It is what it is. What's it been like to be a part of that change and watch that?
Ooh,
Because
yeah.
when I was a kid, you kind of got all the players. It was just what it was, you know.
UConn, Tennessee, and Notre
Yeah,
Dame.
That was
and it was
it.
like, but to watch Coach Staley literally be like, you know what?
Change the
I'm about
game.
to change the game a little bit on y'all.
Yeah.
What's it been like for you to be a part of it and watch it?
It's just crazy because when I committed to him my junior year of high school, like you felt all the hype behind it.
Yeah.
You know, UConn was on top of his game, and everybody loved UConn. But then you had Dawn Staley with South Carolina, so it was just like it just felt different. It was kind of like that underdog feeling. So you know, she recruited great players. So like the organization was really great. It felt like home. Everything was genuine. You know, on the court, off the court. So I just fell in love with it, and you know, it just led me to where I'm at.
Did she
That's
bust
fire.
y'all
That's
last
amazing.
one time?
Huh?
She bust y'all last one time?
What you mean by that?
On the court.
I mean, she'll shoot every now and then.
She ain't about it no more.
She wasn't
Okay.
trying to
I didn't know if she was on that.
She
Yeah.
wasn't trying to hang with the bit dog. Bro.
It's crazy. All right, what you listening to these days, man? There's an album or a song. What is it? What's keeping you motivated?
Honestly, I listen to a lot of rapping, like R&B, whatever. It's like whatever I'm feeling in the moment. Sometimes
Gotcha.
I can be on my, you know, my type of old school era.
Excuse me?
Slow.
What you talking about? What you
Yeah,
mean?
what you mean? Who the artist? I don't know the artist. What's your name?
I'm
You know,
Real
old
life.
school. You
Y'all
know,
think-
Mario.
Yeah. Bow Wow, Shaw Moss, you know.
I mean, I listen to all of that, so yeah. I would feel like
Damn, I'm old.
between those two, it just depends on whatever mode I am that day.
I feel
That's
it.
real.
It must really be some kids out here now. She's talking about old school Mario.
Yeah, it's
I'm getting
crazy.
old, man. Getting old.
It happens fast.
Um,
They do.
It happens fast.
what are you looking forward to this season with the Fever? What we got going on?
I feel like I've been in off-season mode. It's my first time, you know, going through that. So, you know, you have all these months to try to develop your game
Yeah.
and have such a shorter season. So it's like right now I'm just, trying to get more comfortable with just pulling up in transition, get my mid-range right, because I'm a great three-point shooter. So just trying to develop that. That way I can add that to my bag and, just come off the pick and roll, just knowing when to shoot and when not and when to drive. Honestly.
That's real.
That's hard.
Let's go. I'm excited.
You mentioned the season being short. Would you like to see a longer WNBA season?
Of course. I would definitely love for it to expand more, have more teams. There's a lot of great talent out there. So I feel like, in the near future, I feel like it's only just going to expand more and more.
That's real. I know you got your own brand. What's the inspiration behind that brand? The origin story of that?
So, I've been playing basketball all my life. So, when COVID happened, that shut down a lot of things.
Indeed.
So, even with school. So, it was just like, what can I put my time into? And I always always been into styling and, dressing myself. So, I always wanted.
Yeah. For sure. Putting it on.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, putting it on.
I always wanted to create my own. So when COVID happened, it gave me that opportunity and time to really try to, have the eager to push and make it, happen. So that's all I really needed was to make it happen. So before COVID, it was just like basketball, school.
Right.
Like I really wasn't really focused on anything else at the time. So I feel like COVID gave me the opportunity to, build my own brand, outside of basketball and just something I can always have off the court. Like I can, what I'm saying? I can wear my clothing brand. Other people can wear it. And it's just.
That's real. Who inspires you in that space? Who you like? You know what, man? When it's all said and done, my amazing career. Who is someone you look to? Like, okay, I want my brand to be on that level.
Honestly, I really don't compare my brands to anybody. And I do that specifically just because I feel like everybody have their own journey. But it's a lot of people out there that I do see on social media. Their style is different and, it's popping. I feel like it's popping. So I feel like I just try to take certain things
Great
from certain people, that's and make it my own. So
that's real.
That's tight.
For sure.
Yeah, you're a good person. If somebody got their clothing brand, they need to get you in it because.
Yeah. And I also do that too.
Send me things. I'll wear it.
Yeah, for sure. That's another big part of the league now, like tunnel fits. Before
man.
Oh, we parked down there. I'm definitely doing a tunnel walk. I cannot wait.
Yeah. I feel like that's a dope trend that's been going on, for a couple years now, and it's been getting more and more out there, especially with women's basketball.
Yeah.
No, that's real. That's real. And when it, I think a lot of times professional players are criticized for how hard they're working and how much time they put in. You're like, man, hold on, this so-and-so get better, this got paid off. What's going on with that? What is the definition of someone who's in the gym? How okay, I know this individual's putting the time in. What's that schedule look like for you?
They schedule.
Or what's your gym schedule look like?
What's that look like to you?
So for me, I feel like when I look at somebody that's they've been in the gym, or if I've been in the gym, for me, I can just see my development myself. But it's just different when other people recognize it and be like, dang, like she been cooking, or she been putting in the work. Like I see a change from then to now, and I feel like that's just what it is. I feel like when somebody has been working, I just feel like they get up, wake up, breakfast, whatever. They have Actually, and one of my coaches actually just gave me a little lecture about this morning before I worked out. He was like, I forgot the name he said, but he was like, they woke up, they used to have 3 workouts a day. They woke up, had a workout before breakfast, end up having one before lunch, and then come back that night. So it's like that really kind of motivated me to. So when it's time, when it's time to practice.
Sound like Kobe.
Maybe, but he was just saying when it's time to practice with 15 people, it was easy because he was used to working out 3 times a day by himself.
Got you.
So it was just when it's time for crunch time, when it's time to play the game, it was just
they ready.
It was easy, yeah.
That's real. If you're not playing, go ahead, Rick.
What's the hardest transition from college to WNBA? As far as figuring out your game and how you want to be effective and be great.
I just feel like it just depends. Either if you're a starter or if you're just coming off the bench, I feel like it's different people go through different things.
Right.
So I feel like for me, one of the things was I've been in this position before, so it was nothing new. But coming off the bench, being ready, stay game ready, staying warm, and moving up and down the floor, at a high rate. The game is faster than college. So I just feel like that could be something that a lot of people struggle with. Is the speed of the game and just trying to find your rhythm.
Let the game come to you.
Yeah.
For sure. I can imagine. I can't imagine, but I can imagine.
So I like
I don't know what this nigga talking about.
I like to ask professional athletes this. You might not answer it. The season's coming up. Who you got in your book written down? What team? What name?
Nobody.
Okay. I knew that's what you were going to say. I had to see.
They all can get it.
They all can get it. It's for everybody.
I got a more lighthearted question. What you like to eat in the city?
I kind of eat the same things I'm Uber Eat.
Okay. Where we going? What's up? What we eating tonight? What's up?
It's actually I just tried a couple spots, but I tried Dave's Hot Chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solid.
I had that twice before. Then I always go to District Tap. I had that today actually.
We got to expand your horizons.
For sure. There's some spots out
there's
there.
Better things here.
We got you, Henny.
For sure.
DM us. We gonna take care of you.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's better things than that.
I want to know the origin story behind the nickname. Where did Henny come from? Get that.
So, my last name is Henderson, and then we had 2 Destinies on the team. So it was just kind of not annoying, but every time someone said Destiny,
Right,
all y'all together.
Hey, call me. Listen, I'm sick of this.
And now you're not about to call me Lil Destiny either.
You're not feeling Lil Bro, man.
Just Henny came in part, and then it was just all type of nicknames like Hen Dog, Hen Dude. But
those are all fire. They're all fire though.
You know what I'm saying? So it was, but Henny was like the main.
Yeah, that's the one that stuck.
The main.
That's real, man.
Dope.
For sure. Man, round of applause for Destiny Henderson.
Yeah.
In the building, man. One last question for you. What's a goal you have? I know you talk about working on your game and that transition pull I'm looking for this season. But what's another goal you setting for yourself and your time with the Fever this year?
Just a goal in general I would say just to be an all-star. This season, I'll say just to be a big spark for my team. I feel like this year is going to be a great year for us. I feel like we're in the midst of, turning our organization around, and I feel like we're just, ready to compete, win more games this season. So I just feel like that's just where I'm at right now. It's really just, coming out just to play hard and play every game like it's on the line.
There you go. I'll be looking for it, man. For sure, man.
Got my vote.
For sure.
Yeah, shout out to Henny in the building. This is crazy. Indeed. Fresh as advertised, you know what I'm saying? In real life too, man. Nah, we appreciate you.
Real life for sure.
Cool as a fan.
Cool as a fan,
Definitely cool as
man.
shit. I'm sorry.
Indeed.
Cool as shit.
Let's move on, man. Shout out to the Fever. Next.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're still live from Bridge to Game right now.
Bridge to Game.
Shout out to the Pacers, man. This is an amazing experience. And shout out to Senior Vice President Tracy Ellis-Ward for having us here and continue to talk to amazing, legendary people that are really behind the scenes and doing so many impactful things for our community, the community of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Pacers are more than basketball, man.
And this is
much
more.
Much
someone
more.
that means it's special to me in my upbringing, Indianapolis, Indiana. Man, shout out to Mr. Corey Wilson for being here.
Hey,
Indeed. And Corey, I'm gonna let you have the floor too. I want you to tell the people what do you do for the Pacers.
man, so I've been here 3 years. I'm Vice President of Community Engagement, Executive Director of the Pacers Foundation.
There we go.
A lot of times when I talk to people, I kind of explain it like the community engagement side of my work is making people smile. That's
There you
what
go.
I do. I try to bring smiles to people's faces, kids particularly. And then on the foundation side, I give away money.
I like money.
Really,
There we
that's
have
what
it,
it's
man.
about.
What you got to do to get money?
For sure.
What are the requirements?
So we start off every pregame podcast interview with the pregame podcast pop quiz. We ask you a flurry of questions, and that's how we get down. Just do your best to answer.
I'm going first.
Let's go.
What has been your favorite event in your 3 years with the Pacers?
Favorite event? Honestly, that's like kind of say,
What's your
which one of your
favorite kid?
babies look good, But I'll tell you, I'm not even trying to blow smoke. this event tonight is really what makes this work special. Because quite honestly, you don't see this.
No.
Yeah,
Multiple
no, it's real.
You don't.
people of color here in the field house having fun,
Man.
celebrating.
On the floor.
Yeah, getting a chance to see stuff that
Drinking
the
good
season
whiskey.
ticket holders
For sure.
get
And
to see.
wine.
So we did this once before with older population.
Gotcha.
I don't know what old generations is called now, but so these two events are my favorite because this is the only time I've seen in 3 years where you got bunches or groups of people of color
Got you.
all together and they having fun.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So you say you're big on giving back, big on the kids. What's a moment that really impacted you, that changed you for the better?
Well, it wasn't here, but maybe I can tell you how I got started in community.
Please.
I went to Mount Perrin Baptist Church back in the day when it was off of 34th and Boulevard, across from Crown Hill, and we did this shoe program where we gave away shoes to kids, and the people had to come. You had to be present to get the shoes.
Got you.
And so it was the Saturday before Christmas that we did this shoe giveaway. So it was at the fairgrounds. We had thousands of people lined up outside of the fairgrounds to get these shoes that were from Payless. I know I'm dating myself.
Right.
But Payless shoes. And these kids would be there so excited to get Payless shoes. Some of them had no shoes, holes in their shoes.
Yeah.
And to see them smile, that did it for me. That did it for me. And so that's why I'm in this work now doing community, because I want to continue to bring those smiles to people's faces.
That's amazing.
So they're going to remember that forever.
Indeed. For me, so, I know you from the city. What's your favorite Pacers team of all time? What was that team you was like, okay, yeah, them was my guys right there?
Man, it's controversial, man, but, I mean, when Lance and, going back to the Brawl days, I mean, those guys, the fact that they wasn't scared of nobody.
Oh, nobody.
Oh, it was crazy.
You could, you knew, you might
Police,
get a couple
fans,
buckets,
players, security guard, anybody can get it.
38th Street, it don't matter.
Hey, I said it was going to be controversial, but you knew that they was about trying to give you the business on the court and maybe off the court.
We can go to OT too if you want.
Yeah. I know, that's real.
On whatever side of town too, they was about that life.
Oh yeah.
I got a very Homer question.
Yes, sir.
From the city. What's your personal order in Longs? You go to Long, you ain't getting for everybody. You stopped in there before work. You didn't tell your wife. It's just you. What you getting at Long?
I mean, I'm basic, man. I'm doing the dozen glaze, man.
Yeah,
I'm
please.
going, that's all you need, but they got to be hot.
Yeah.
So I'm
Don't
trying
give me
to
them
get
all
there
day
early.
glaze.
Yeah.
Give me some
Give
fresh
me the
boys.
warm ones with the little grease stain in the corner of the box.
Yeah, I mean that's all I need. That white box. You.
Oh,
You in good hands.
Yeah.
I'm in good hands this morning. I had my longs.
Yeah. It's going to be a good day at work today. I stopped, got me some Longs.
No, that's real, man. Round of applause for Corey Wilson for being here. And you've been doing community engagement for a long time, and shout out to anybody that's a part of the Botillion military in the city. That's a lot of people, man. A lot of people I know have been through that program. How does that? I want to start there because I feel like it means something to a lot of people listening. How does that impact the work that you do now, being part of Botillion?
So I'll give you just a quick rundown of what it is. So the Botillion is a 16-week educational and mentorship program for black males, high school, juniors, and senior males here in the city. And it's probably 35, 40 years old of doing this with black males in the city. And I mean, we really, as black males, the model of 100 is what they see is what they'll be. And so we try to provide examples of positive black males, and we was doing it before it was cool, now. So I don't know if you remember, we do this, the one session I always say that stands out is the legal rights session, where we go through what to do if you're pulled over by the police.
I remember that.
Yeah. And so we do all these kind of things, and it really is what touches me, because you meet people when they sitting there in the program, and then you see them doing positive things like this. It's like it's actually working.
I made an impact.
Yeah.
Nah, that's real.
So it makes you feel really good. So it's a dope program.
That's real. Can you kind of give us some, I know that the Pacers Foundation, as I watch the games, you always see a commercial, something to highlight the Pacers Foundation. How were you able to connect to the Pacers Foundation? How did that come about?
So when I applied for the job, the idea was we want to really think intentionally and strategically about both the Pacers Foundation and community engagement.
Gotcha.
Because The community engagement side of my work is what we do as an organization in the community, all the stuff off the court. Some of the stuff are what the players do in the community. But then the foundation is the philanthropic arm that can help drive that from a resources perspective.
Right.
So if you got two different people trying to march on that different work, you might not be going in the right path.
Right.
So having one person kind of can see that vision to help execute on some of these things. And then since I've been here for the 3 years, obviously George Floyd got killed.
Yeah.
And so now it provides a moment where we are really being intentional about some communities of color here in Indianapolis and across the state to hopefully change the trajectory of some people's lives and not just say, well, here's 10,000, here's basketball, here's a player, but really hopefully be positive to help them see something different.
Gotcha.
What does your team look for when they're seeking out these events or these programs or these institutions to partner with?
You know, the big thing, several things. One thing is we want people that are really trying to, I keep on saying be intentional, but have some impact.
Right.
So just trying to show up to collect a check, or you do work, pat on the back, good job, but then you go off and you're not really about that life. We looking for organizations that are really trying to do that, particularly at the grassroots level.
Okay.
So it's nothing against our established organizations that are out there, but there's a lot of grassroots, newer organizations that are starting up that might know, hey, that house right there, they got 3 people that could really use some help.
Got you.
That's where we're trying to be at.
Right. There should always be a level of humility that comes along with this. Like, you don't want the guy that comes in with the camera right away.
Yeah.
Like, do the work.
Yeah, and actually, it's a lot of stuff that we do as an organization because of our ownership, the Simon family. They are some of the most benevolent people I've ever met.
Oh, I know.
But they do a lot of stuff that they don't want. Most of the stuff they do, they don't want publicity on it. And so it makes it kind of hard because people say, "But I don't ever see y'all." Or
just know it's the invisible hand. We there.
But we doing a lot of work. Yeah. It's a lot of good work that's happening.
That's real.
But they don't want people to know about it.
You know, All-Stars coming up, and the city's already buzzed.
Good question.
All-Stars coming, and it didn't get great talk coming out of Utah. Does that put more pressure on this organization to make sure we do an overly great job? And what is that like for you? What's it look like for you to be like, all right, here we go? Like, is that already started? Is day one already hit?
Man, we got next. It's bottom line. You know. But I was out there in Utah, and
glad you made it back, brother.
it wasn't bad. It just, it's a whole nother flavor.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother level of excitement, energy, and interest out here.
Yep.
You know, there's a slogan around here. They say in 49 other states is basketball, but this is Indiana.
Absolutely.
It's different.
You know,
and
so
we grow basketball here.
Right.
That's what we do.
I think the vibe is just going to be so much stronger. So we've started planning 6 months as well. So I don't know if y'all know, but we were supposed to hold the All-Star game.
Pandemic shut us down, but I think it might be a blessing in disguise.
Right, it was, because this building and everything else is now done. So all the committees and stuff has been working since really 2019 or 20 on the planning. So now we are go. They got countdown clocks all around this building.
That's tight.
Wow.
Saying,
crazy.
You know,
So
350 days or whatever it is go.
More in your lane. I know everybody here all started thinking about parties, Saturday night, whatever that's going to go down and everything like that. But what are you guys going to be doing on the civic side of it? How do we get involved with that part of it? Because I would imagine All-Star is going to bring a big event for your team as well.
So we are working. I can't spill all the.
No. We give us what you can. Give us what you can.
But so a couple ideas that are already come to the table that we want to execute on. So the NBA does a legacy project in every city, and we want to figure out what our legacy is going to be here in Indianapolis. That's a bricks and mortar capital type of investment project. And then secondarily, I'll tell y'all, there's a big program called NBA Cares that happens.
Yeah.
And what we want to do here is it's All-Star 24, so we're going to be doing something for 24 hours. And we want to have
a little telethon.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. We ain't asking people for money. We're going to be doing some work. So imagine something like a meal pack where you packing meals for people here in the city. We build homes. We're, through Habitat for Humanity, examples of things like that we can do to really, really raise the bar.
Yeah.
So when you asked earlier about Utah, they did a great job, but we just know Indianapolis.
It's gonna be better. We know how we get down.
I like the 24-hour thing. I'm with that.
I
got about
that
8
lot.
for you.
Okay.
I can do by 8.
Okay.
I love to volunteer.
I can do a shift.
I dare you. I dare you.
I want to speak too. So I think a big thing about being an NBA player, being a professional player, is what you do off the court or off the field. How do you all develop, the younger players, the stars come up in the Pacers organization to connect with community engagement? What resources you're offering them to kind of help them get started and their families get started?
So the easiest answer I can give you is a lot of times some of these guys come and they kind of know, what they like. So we try to find out what they're passionate about. And it's not just the guys. I know you had Destanni up here, Fever too.
Yeah, shout out to the Fever.
Talking to them about what they're passionate about, how can we get them connected here in Indianapolis. So we really try to meet them where they are versus saying, hey, we're doing this, you need to come alongside. And then after that, once they start to see what we do, that we are real about engaging the community, not just, like I said, the pat on the back, take a picture and go home. The players, they appreciate that.
Okay.
And then lastly, I'll say, particularly for our guys, I think they appreciate the fact that we not put them in spaces where people are trying to hit them up for money.
Yeah.
They know that they can actually pour into people. And
skip the fundraiser dinners. Send me somewhere else.
They don't want to do that. So once they start to build that trust with us and know that we're serious, we're trying to put them in front of some kids, people that appreciate the work that the life that they live and how they're trying to be positive. I think that's when they really connect with us and say, okay, we can figure out some other things to do.
That's real. If we're an organization and we're looking to get involved with the Pacers Foundation and connect, what can we do to make that happen?
So the easiest way is, you want me to pause or you want to keep going?
Let's pause, make sure let her speak.
Miss Tracy just interrupted us.
She's allowed to.
Yeah, I know. She can do that.
Like,
Where's she at? Okay, she's right here.
Okay, the winner of the first prize, again, must be present to win, is, and I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Time out.
She's like you.
It's definitely him.
We think the first name, again, I apologize, is Asmara Ortega. Asmara Ortega.
not here.
Are you here? We think they might be on tour, so we will hold, but she is the winner of a fitness package.
Nice.
Pacers, fabulous. Yeah, the water bottle, t-shirt, and 5 free lessons at a spin facility. The next prize is an autographed baseball hat and t-shirt by Pacers player, Rashay Foster. Is Rashay Foster here?
She was walking in.
Woo, and she coming in right on time. Rashay, congratulations. See Abigail to collect your prize. And drum roll for the last awesome prize, which is autographed Team Pacers ball with the authenticity certificate attached. Cedric Warren. Cedric Warren. All right. Congratulations. Congratulations. And the first name again, just in case, we have another group coming in. Asmara Ortega. Yeah. All right. So check with Abigail on their price tag. All right. Thank you so much for coming. Feel free to mingle for the last few minutes of the program, and we thank you so much for coming. This has been an amazing experience for us as a staff. Hopefully you had a great time and engaged with other young professionals and emerging leaders in the community. We have some of our vice presidents here, so make sure that you meet them. Matt, our chief financial officer, is here. I think I saw Donna Wilkinson, our head of HR, is floating around here somewhere. So make sure you make connections with our staff as well and each other, and enjoy the rest of the evening, and thank you again for coming. If you have not, and before you leave, make sure you touch base with us, because we have a souvenir that we want everyone to walk away with, which is the 2024 All-Star license plate. I heard we are hosting All-Star, NBA All-Star next February. So you will be getting that to help us brand this amazing event for our city. Thank you again for coming.
Awesome.
Thank you. We asked you a question. It's about how to get in contact. If you want to be a part
thank
of
you.
it.
I was trying to think of what it was, but yes, if you want to be a part of the Pacers Foundation and connect and link, I know there's a lot of creators in the city. They've got great businesses. What can they do? Who should they reach out to?
So the Pacers Foundation funds pretty much exclusively nonprofit, 501c3, Indiana-based youth-serving organizations.
Nice.
So that's what we're looking for, are organizations that fit that mold. And PacersFoundation.org is our website, where you can see all the information about how to apply for a grant, how to get connected with us.
Indeed. As a black man in this space, what has your journey been like? I think about foundations. I'm not hip or privy to, what the landscape looks like across the league, but how have you been able to navigate and make sure that your presence is felt and people are honoring your voice in its capacity with the Pacers Foundation?
That's heavy. It's not a lot of us. It's not a lot of people in grant making of color here in the city. So, I think what I've tried to do is just be comfortable in myself and really speaking the truth about things that I've seen. And so, I've been in rooms with other grant making people and organizations where you can really feel like when they make decisions to disperse or grant certain organizations, it's from that, oh, I'm so sorry for them, I want to feel pity on them.
Gotcha.
And I guess I've seen it from a different lens because I've been there. That story I told y'all about the kids with the shoes that used to help through my church. I wasn't too far from it myself. Not having no good shoes. So I just happened to be on the side that had some shoes at that moment. So I always try to approach the room from that perspective and be able to offer that insight. And now that I'm, I guess, at the table or in the room, I've gained that respect of this organization and others to be able to speak about things that we're trying to do, but not I think it's probably going to do this, or I would hope to, but I've been there. I know what it's like.
Right.
So that's the perspective I hope that I bring forward.
Understood.
That's major, man.
That's major.
It's really good to see you in this role.
Yes, and others as well. This has been an amazing experience, for sure. And I think I'm gonna say this, and I think that a lot of times Pacers people, the perspective of the Pacers that it's this majority, space consumed by white people from Indiana, and I think as we got a intricate look at who was running and who's leading. Your perspective should be changed to the PreGame podcast.
Yeah, and I think
it feels good.
Yeah, sorry, interrupt you. I think tonight is what we try. That's what the whole point of tonight is.
Yeah.
And we want to do more of it. Honestly, tonight is so much of a proof of concept to see if the public, if the community really wants to do something.
You invite us, we gonna be there.
Yeah, we in there for sure. We tied in.
Yeah,
for life.
But the thing is, I think we got to figure out ways to be creative about it. So. Saying that we got a cool scoreboard might be interesting to some people, but to have a podcast here while you got Decademics going on, you got Uncle Nearest, you got, desserts from soul food companies and food, that's a whole different vibe that we know.
Y'all curated today.
People of color would appreciate.
Yep.
And so that hopefully demonstrates that we serious and not just saying, hey, show up, look at our scoreboard, and I hope that you will buy a ticket. And that's not ultimately, we're not just trying to get people to buy tickets, but hopefully embrace what we try to do as an organization.
Man, that's amazing, man. It's crazy.
It's good to see you be able to work from a place of joy.
Yes, passion, purpose, man.
Mm-hmm.
Passion and purpose.
Giving out joy, receiving joy when you're able to give out joy.
No doubt. Powerful. No doubt.
Got you. What can we expect? I know we talked about All-Star, but what can we expect? A Pacers Foundation or a community event that we can look forward to as the season comes to an end this year, that more people should be worried about and we can partake in.
So we're getting ready. Hopefully we make the playoffs, but if we don't make the playoffs,
y'all making it.
Yeah, our next big thing. So we focus on 4 different areas. So there's corporate citizenship, which is like the things that's just the right thing to do as an organization. We do health and fitness programming. We do education programming. And then we do programs focused on female empowerment. Okay. Well, in that education bucket, we're getting ready to start doing a lot of stuff around literacy. So we're going to multiple schools in IPS.
Testing coming around the corner.
Helping kids read. And we have celebrity readers from the Pacers and other parts of the league.
Wow.
That's crazy. They go out and start reading to kids. So we have what we call them reading timeout. So that's the most immediate thing that we get ready to do next. I will just throw out there, we also do a lot of stuff in the food insecurity space, so that's kind of the health and wellness. Okay. And so we do a lot of stuff at Gleaners. And so we'll be working with some of our partners in providing some meals to some people in need.
Absolutely. That's great.
Man, round of applause, man. This is amazing, for sure. And it's my last question to be out of here. What's been the most fun what's been most fun about this particular team, this particular culture that's been growing this year specifically?
I ain't even gonna lie. In this building, it's a whole different energy this year versus the other years, and that doesn't have anything to do with COVID. People are really excited about this team. Yep. Even when we lose,
you can see the future. You can see it.
Yeah, it's still exciting, and so I really enjoy the fans, how they've come. And we always find a way to come back, or have found a way, even if we've been down in some of the games. I don't know if y'all checked us out.
Oh, I'm watching.
We've been down a little bit in some games.
But first quarters are tough for us this season.
We found a way to come back, which that's all these fans want to see is
the fight.
You trying. Yeah, you trying. And I think that might be why I like the team from the Bad Boy days, because
we knew what we were getting every single night.
Right.
For sure.
Don't need these new guys doing that.
No. But what they doing is just
play like that on the court.
Yeah.
Go home after the game,
please.
Go kiss your family, please.
No Cloud 9.
No Cloud 9.
No Rio.
No DJ Gino. Just
go home, please.
Hoop and be with your family.
I'm bringing back some memories. I ain't just leave it there.
That'd be crazy though. If Tyrese was on some, I wouldn't be too bad.
For sure. And this is the last. This is important. So this is.
You can't help it.
I can't, man.
He has a problem.
This is important.
Last question, man. I ain't got nothing.
Mr. Corey Wilson is a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
This is important. I'm sorry.
And
get it off.
I just want to know how Alpha has groomed you for this role and for your success thus far.
He's a real one.
I guess the quick story I'll say as we try to wrap this up is the reason why I'm an Alpha is because back in Indiana State, there was a guy who, man, we had some of the littest house parties. But that next day, he was front row in class. And so I saw that and I was like, that's dope.
Yeah.
That wasn't the same dude that I saw last night, but that dude is representing class. And a lot of what has poured into me through Alpha was just seeing that example of, we party hard, we stay up late.
Most of all,
we graduate.
Yeah. So, just having that embedded in me and seeing it and, being here tonight, I'm going to be here tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
Shout out to your profile.
Working again.
You got to grind. You got to
sure.
grind. So that's how Alpha's poured into me.
Man, that's all I got, man. I'm done. Shout out to Mr. Corey Wilson, man. Thank you so much for what you're doing with the community, with the Pacers Foundation. We appreciate you. Continue to engage our community.
Thank you.
Let's move on. Next.
All
right, still live from Bridge to Gain.
Bridge to Gain.
For sure. The guests have been
immaculate.
What a night, man. We've learned so much.
We're still on the floor.
And we still talking to Indianapolis legends, Indianapolis brands, going crazy. One of those is sipping share wines. Round of applause, Mr. David Thompson.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you, sir.
Appreciate you coming.
Indeed. We started off, number one, where can everybody find Sipping Shirt Wines on social media?
Oh, we are on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok.
TikTok.
You know, we got it covered. We got it covered all the way across the board.
There we go.
Share wine. Tap in with them.
Tap in. Make sure to follow us because we are at beautiful events like this all the time,
man,
all over the country, not just in Indianapolis. So you might be, somewhere. We travel.
There you go, global.
We do travel. We are across the country as far as in different stores. Here we're in all the Total Wines and
that's
nice.
Big. Okay.
Yeah,
Major.
Eagle Creek Liquors.
That's my liquor store.
That's the one.
I'm gonna come and see y'all. That's my liquor store for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely check us out. You know, I'll be over there tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Taking care of a little something, but we're across this place, Indianapolis, and like I said, the DMV. I could go on and on.
Oh, there we go, Chocolate City.
Yeah, we're moving it around.
That's amazing. We start off every single pregame podcast interview with the pregame podcast pop quiz. We ask you flurry of questions. Do your best to answer.
Oh, that's
easy stuff.
Oh, you got it. You gonna kill it.
You see this
easy money.
Beard? You see this
I know
you got it.
You sharp. I can tell. So, you got your favorite bottle of Sip and Share.
Yeah.
Tell me what that is, and what's the meal to pair with it?
Ooh.
Okay, I can roll with that. My favorite bottle is, now all of them are our babies. We are a team, so we put a little bit of our heart in everything.
That's real.
It is Black-owned, women-owned. I'm here representing, but my favorite bottle is our Gratitude.
Okay.
And that is a Cab Merlot red blend.
Okay.
Ooh, I like that.
A little bit on the dry side. It is, I guess I would pair it with, everybody says, it's a dry steak, things like that. Nicole would say peanut butter and jelly.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
It's based on your taste.
Gotcha.
To me.
Okay.
To me.
Whatever makes you happy.
Whatever makes you happy. Now, don't get me
I like
wrong. I probably have some of your, more wine connoisseur type out there mad at me right now.
That's all right.
They be all right.
We're not chilling over
We're
here.
gonna celebrate the wisdom of that.
Exactly, because we don't cater to that that concept, the bouginess of wine. We don't
Enjoy your wine.
There you go.
Enjoy your wine.
Drink your wine in the cup.
Our wine's for the people.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, that is my go-to right now, but that fluctuates.
I got you.
We have our 7-word wine collection. Which is I could go through it, intention, Riesling, Chardonnay, and so on.
Got them all.
But then we also have our Sip Gris, which is it's an agave wine blend, like a cooler type deal.
Okay.
So in the summertime, you throw that on some ice or whatnot. Don't let
Sounds crazy.
You good to go.
Don't let the sweet taste fool you, because our wines do have. Some of them are higher wine.
Y'all ain't packed up yet, have you? I'm gonna go holler at one of them.
Oh, most definitely. Check us out. Now, we only have 3 of our wines here today.
Gotcha.
It's our Chardonnay, our Sweet White, and that one I just mentioned, the Gratitude.
Nice.
Gratitude. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine kind of juvenile, man. Besides wine grapes, what's your favorite grape? Green, red, or black? Just to snack on.
Oh, just a snack on? I like the green grape, man.
Yeah, the green.
I've been finding some good green grapes lately.
Indeed, green
You gotta
grapes.
get them in the
Take care of
plastic cartons, not the bags. The bags, they're gonna be kind of weak. Get the cartons. That's what I've learned.
I
Pay
got a
more.
question for you. It's a 2-part question. Are you from Indianapolis?
I am from Indianapolis.
Born and raised.
I'm born and raised here, but I've kind of.
He said I move around.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite ABA pacer?
Ooh.
That's not hard.
George McGinnis?
That's not hard. Now, he was a bad boy, kind of got disrespected in Philly, I think.
Yeah.
But that's all right. But my favorite right now has to be Darnell Hillman, Dr. Dunk.
Okay.
I've heard about Dr. Dunk.
Absolutely. We just had a opening for our tasting room.
Yes, sir.
And by us being Pacer partners, he's one of the guys that showed up.
Oh, that's major.
Man, that's major right there.
Man,
That's
that
awesome.
was major.
That made your day, I'm sure.
Yeah, it did, because I go all the way, like I said, I got this gray going on, so I go way back a little bit with the ABAs, back in the ABA
What high school
days.
did you go to?
I went to Lawrence Central, and Arlington.
Well, you're wrong.
Okay, yeah.
LC guys. Let me tell
They've
you
seen
about
it all.
And I went to school in Cincinnati, and
Okay. Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Nah.
it gets
The LC guys.
OG.
it gets a little complicated.
Yeah, I understand.
Nah,
You said
we
LC is all
got
I
you.
heard.
There's a story behind that.
LC in the 70s.
Nah, I ain't going
He
to
was in the
70s.
80s.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
It was different.
that's the story right
Yeah, it
there.
was different.
LC in
LC
the
in the
70s.
70s.
Ain't the LC
Yeah.
of today.
They didn't want him
So,
in there. That's just call it
Got
what
you,
it
got
is.
you.
Boom.
I already know.
There you go.
Boom.
When I went, I was very welcome.
Is that right?
Yeah, 2005 grad. So
Yeah. So
Integration over
It
here.
was
2005.
yeah, 2005 grad.
Oh, so it was more than 29 of y'all.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now we talking about real history here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you going to get a meal, sir, where are you going? Favorite place to go eat in the city? You know, really enjoy the city, take it all in. Where we going in Naptown?
Oh man, I keep it simple, but I like good soul food. What's that on 30th? My place.
His place.
His place. No, that's my place. No.
Shout out to his place eating.
Like both are.
Yeah, most definitely. I like them.
That's amazing.
They have some good food that's kind of comfortable with what I grew up with. My mom's from Kentucky, so
Okay.
yeah, she oh man, I put Kentucky food up against anybody.
There you go.
Yeah,
I like
That's
it.
real.
Straight up.
How were you able to get connected to a Sip and Share Wines? What is the origin story behind your connection to the company?
Well, I started dating the owner. And
here I am.
No,
I mean now, I'm
no,
on the
we-
payroll.
We got together before Sip and Share Wine, and we began the process of getting out. She was repping other black winemakers across the country, repping them and making a sangria that was being kind of cupped out of a bowl. Wasn't not selling that; it was selling good. Some discussions began to happen, and she kind of always wanted to be in the wine industry.
Okay.
And so, I was at the working at VA. At the VA downtown, and I would come over to on dates, and I was helping make wine. And we started
fun
out.
date night.
Yeah.
Fun day night.
Fun day night, right?
making it night.
We start with some grapes tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that, started putting it in bottles and traveled the country. I think
Man,
our
that's
first big
beautiful.
event was the Essence Fest.
Oh,
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And we got there with, labels barely sticking on the bottles, the cork sticking a half inch
Man,
out the
it's just
bottle.
But the people like the product,
Oh,
didn't
they
they?
loved it.
Yeah, that's all that
They
matters.
loved it, man.
that
So, we've grown it from there. Used to work in a space probably about as big as this table. Now we are in a over 6,000 foot square foot, facility. So
You
know,
mentioned events.
Yes.
How often? So I saw the
That's
opening.
amazing.
I wanted to make it to the open. I couldn't make it. You guys hold events at the actual location now.
at the actual location.
How often are they held?
We just did a whole weekend, and we're not going to do that anymore. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Brother gets a little woe down, but we're going to be doing them. Kind of spread them out through the month.
Okay.
And we offer anybody. You have a group of like this, young professionals
Yeah.
or anybody. You have groups you want to come in. Like I said, it's a small, intimate setting. We don't, not big enough for a whole lot of people. Probably about 25, 30 people.
Okay.
And you come in. We're about to have for the 317 day coming up. We are going to have a spades tournament.
Oh, you trying to get it cracking? Okay.
Okay.
But we do all kind of different events, and like I said, whatever whatever your group is, and we also throw our own. We bring in caterers. If you know any caterers want to collaborate with us or anything to that effect.
You know a really good one.
We do, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let us know, and hopefully we can all get plugged in, collaborate that, man, and make that happen.
Nah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Shout out to Hendrix.
Yeah.
Indeed. Shout out to Chef
Oh, that's
Hendrix,
what's up.
man. What constitutes, a good wine? How you know, all right, this is quality? I know we getting Super Share Wine quality, but how you know, okay, that's it right there?
I think far as I'm concerned, if we make it,
It's phenomenal.
You know, that's quality wine. Now I can't go into, you know, the deepness and the complexities of all the different wines, you know.
You don't have to.
You don't got to.
But for me, you know, I say that Gratitude, our Cab Merlot, is my favorite, but we drink, you know, we make them all, so I drink them all. And do it, you know, with all the different events around. For me, it's something that doesn't have, you know, a harsh bite at the front or the back.
Right.
You know, our wines.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. And we make our wines to where we've converted people that, you know, if you like sweet wines, but you don't like dry, try dries.
Got you.
If you like dry wines, don't like sweet, try sweets. You know, but we definitely gonna have something for everybody. You know, most definitely. So just a crisp wine, something that's, you know, that's cleared. You know, all of our wines are vegan wines as well.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's part of the clearing process. You know, some wineries, they clear their wines with animal byproducts.
Wow.
You know, we don't do that.
They putting pig in the wine, y'all.
Oh, man.
They putting pig in the wine.
They don't get that pork to you somehow, some way.
Somehow, some way.
It's coming.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they'll use, you know, pork byproducts. They'll use dairy products. They'll use fish bladder, different things to
They got
clear
us
the wine.
messed up, man.
And
Sip
you'll
and
think-
share is clean.
Sneaking it in, too.
Yeah.
Ain't
you'll
telling you
think-
that.
Yeah, and you'll think, oh man, this wine giving me a headache, but you might have
Because you ate a
food
pig ear
allergy.
that
Yeah,
night.
because it's barbecue
Boom.
ribs, bro. It's baby back wine.
There's chitlin juice in there. There's chitlin juice in the wine. That's what they're doing.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
man.
I never knew that. That's
They don't want you to.
Yeah,
Nah.
right. A lot of people don't know that. So that's what, you know, the way we clear our wines and make sure that it, you know, it has that clarity that, you know, so that affects taste. You know, that like I said, gives you that crisp, that smoothness
wonderful.
in the
There you
wine.
go.
For sure.
For sure.
A name you could trust. Sip and share
Indeed.
wines.
Sip and share wines.
Sip
Grab
and
you
share
some.
wine. Sip and
No
share
pork.
At all. It's clean.
Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
Vegan. I appreciate y'all
Well, let
taking
me
the time to make sure we're
give you a
good.
little bit more information on that if you don't mind.
Oh,
No,
of
for sure.
course.
Go ahead.
But follow us on all social media platforms. We're on all social media platforms. We, of course, we open our tasting rooms.
Mm-hmm.
We are in all Total Wines in Indianapolis. That is
I'm going to Eagle Creek.
Eagle Creek. Yeah,
That's
you
where
can
I'm
do
going,
that.
Eagle Creek, yeah.
Yeah, but Noblesville, Nora.
They put one out south, too. Is there one in
Carmel.
Greenwood now? I think Total
Yeah,
Wine.
there's one in
Yep.
Greenwood. Yeah,
Caramel now, too.
Carmel. Yeah.
Taking over the world.
And
They are.
Right, getting Avon. Yeah, they are a big box. They're going to do like Walmart, put everybody on.
Nice.
You
No,
know,
that's amazing. And once again, if somebody wants to connect and is looking for a sponsorship, what's the best way to get in contact with the team at Sip and Share Wines?
the best way to get in contact is through the website. We have our
Okay.
contact information on our website. We have our event information on our website. Just basically everything about us you'll find there, and definitely sign up for our newsletter so we can keep everybody going with this.
That's real, man. Round of applause, Sip and Share Wines.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brothers. Appreciate this.
Thank
Oh,
you.
no problem.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Next.
Next.